We'll start with our first speaker, who will be, I think in this case, it is Roberto Escar from the University of Alicante. He is the director of the Institutional Project Management Office at the University of Alicante in Spain. He holds degrees in economics of education, international and European relations, and in innovation. In the past 20 years, he has coordinated over 100 EU-funded international projects in over 80 countries. Roberto has worked as an expert and evaluator of various international organizations like the European Union, the European Patent Office, and the European Foundation for Management Development. In his presentation today, he will speak on relevant EU-funded programs for the Caribbean, looking at the Horizon Project and Erasmus Plus program. Roberto, welcome.
Thank you, Wendy. Yeah, thanks to the UIPO for trusting us for this interesting initiative. As you have discussed before, this is a second webinar on opportunities for research cooperation between the EU and CARIFORUM countries. The last webinar took place at the end of June, and we have included some new topics, mainly the Erasmus program. And also, we would like to have let's try a more practical approach on the participant portal and some issues that we consider that they are much easier to be understood if we have this practical approach. So the webinar is divided in 5 parts. The first part provides a kind of short intro about Erasmus Plus and Horizon Europe. And the rest of the presentation is only focused on Horizon Europe. Okay, so the rest of the presentations, first of all, there is a part devoted to explain the basics of the program. The structure, which are the difference with the previous program, etc., how the funding is organized. Second, third will be the part that is focused on the organization of the programs. How the calls are organized by research area, and I think that's very important for researchers in order to identify the topics. The fourth is devoted to explain how to register and find information in the main EU platform for research and innovation, that is the participant portal, which also provides, not only basic guidance about the funding, but also the management of the project could be included there. We will talk a little bit also about how to deal with the IPRs, with the intellectual property rights on EU projects. And the last point, as Wendy explained before, will be focused on a success story from a Caribbean institution. Okay, so let's start with the Erasmus Plus. Erasmus Plus is the EU's program to support education, training, health, and sport. So first thing that we have to know is that this program does not fund research activities, and that is also mainly focused in Europe. Although, as we will see later on, it has some opportunities for third countries, and we will try to specify which are those main opportunities. The program, as you see there, has a great budget, about 26 billion euros. And around 30% of this budget is invested in cooperation projects and in policy development activities. So which are the main priorities? Sorry, I think I went, okay, this one. As you see in the slide, the main priorities are inclusion and diversity, environment and fight against climate change, digital transformation and participation in democratic life, common values and civic engagement. But please take into account that the program deals with these 4 main priorities, these topics, with an educational or a management approach, because the program does not fund research activities. Okay, and this is, I think, important to make the difference with the next program that we will see. Then how the program is organized. The program is organized in 3 key actions. First one is key action 1, that is mobility. Key action 2 is focused on policy actions. And the most interesting key action for the CARIFORUM countries is key action 2. This key action 2 includes the initiatives that you see there: Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters, Erasmus Mundus Design Measures, Capacity Building for Education, Monet activities, etc. Just for providing a sample on what kind of activities are included, This initiative that is called Capacity Building for Higher Education has every year a call with a specific budget targeting Caribbean higher education institutions. Okay, so then one thing, I mean, all these initiatives are described in detail on the Erasmus Plus guide that could be found on the link that I gave you in the first slide. So why Erasmus Plus is more interesting in this new format for Caribbean institutions? Well, first of all, because it provides more opportunities to participate in the program. There are more goals, there are more opportunities. And Caribbean institutions from the countries included in the list that you see there could be partners in exchange and cooperation projects, and also in sport, education, and vocational training projects. Okay, so there are some interesting initiatives on this course. As I said before, if you want more details on the course, you have to go to the Erasmus Plus guide. Okay, so that was an introduction of the Erasmus Plus, but as I said at the beginning, the main focus of this presentation is Horizon Europe. Okay, so I start now with Horizon Europe. As you probably know, unlike the Erasmus Plus program, Horizon Europe is funding mainly research and innovation activities. Okay, so this is the largest research and innovation program in the world, and is the European Union's flagship research and innovation program. Its main objective, as you see there, is to drive the systemic changes needed to ensure a green, healthy, and resilient Europe. And there you have included also the website where you may find relevant information on the different goals. But later on, we will explain you how to search on this website. So how the program is organized and which are, let's say, the new elements in the program regarding the previous one. Well, the program is implementing a new strategy considering the lessons learned from previous programs. More specifically, it will change the focus from administration to content. That means that the rules organizing the program have been designed to prioritize the scientific content of the program and not the rules themselves as it happened in the past. So some examples of that: the program enhances the synergies with other EU programs, which was a typical complaint in the previous initiative, because there was some programs that they were kind of overlapping on the content. The program has simplified the model grant agreement, that was again another complaint in the previous program. And finally, there is only one platform, the participant portal, which will facilitate not only the access to the EU funding, but also the management of the grants. Okay. What is this new synergetic approach? Okay, in this slide, you may see how synergies are expected to be exploited. Also, Europe, you see on the top, is the main research and innovation program. But there are other EU programs like Erasmus Plus that you have seen there, and I have explained before, LIFE, Digital Europe, etc. And also there are some specific policies and actions with a sectoral approach, as the Common Agricultural Policy or the Maritime and Fisheries Fund. Okay, so that's basically how it works. With the new program, a great effort has been carried out in order to promote the compatibility of the funds. So participants may have projects with different programs and activities and with synergies between them. And also boosting a high level of complementarity. That means that with, trying to avoid overlapping and with an alignment on strategic priorities and a common vision. Okay, so that's basically this new approach. Which is the vision of this program? You probably heard about this before, but the EU vision is what you have there: a sustainable, fair, and prosperous future for people and planet based on European values, by promoting the EU competitiveness and growth, which, as I will explain later on, it has some weaknesses, and this program is trying to focus on this. Fighting climate change, about more than 1/3 of the budget is going to climate change, and providing support in order to achieve the sustainable development goals. So, which is the context that we have in Europe, and which are the weaknesses that I have just told you? Well, in this area, in the EU context, is that we are 7% of the world population, We develop 20% of the research and development, and we publish around 1/3 of the best scientific publications. However, and this is a clear weakness, our enterprises' investment in research is much lower than the US, Japan, or Korea. And that means at the end that if we do not improve this situation, our enterprises will be less innovative and less competitive in the global market. So how may the program improve this situation? Well, first of all, the program has planned objectives in 4 areas: technological sovereignty, European competitiveness, and sustainable and resilient society. About the first one, technological sovereignty, the idea is to strengthen scientific, technological basis and European research area in order not to depend on other regions, on other countries, on crucial areas for Europe. For instance, we have suffered some months ago a recent semiconductor chip shortage that affected the EU automotive industry. Okay, so we have to, use this program in order to avoid this problem. Regarding European competitiveness, the program aims to boost Europe's innovation capacity, competitiveness, jobs, of course. And finally, a more resilient society is also promoted by strengthening resilience and crisis preparedness. Okay. So how are we going to track progress, and in which areas will the program will have impact? Well, the program is planned to have impact on 3 areas: scientific, economic, and societal. In this figure, you may see some examples of the different pathways to reach impact. For instance, in order to increase the scientific impact, we will strengthen the human capital in research and innovation. So let's say a more prepared human capital in research and innovation will facilitate this impact on science. Or in order to have economic impact, we will deliver benefits via research and innovation missions, or the program is also expected to have a societal impact by supporting the creation of more and better jobs. What kind of activities are funded by the program? I think you may imagine, as the previous one, Horizon Europe aims to achieve its objectives by funding research, technological development, demonstration, and innovation. So mainly it will be applied research. Most of the funding is going to applied research via transnational collaboration between companies and research organizations belonging to EU countries, associated states, and third countries, as is the case of the Caribbean. How the program is planned and how is this strategy organized in order to achieve the objectives that we have just discussed? Well, first of all, the current program defines the orientations for the first 4 years with the idea of attracting attention and cooperation at international global level, okay? And this is organized considering the research and innovation strategic planning of Horizon Europe, the synergy between the different funding frameworks, the synergies across the other EU policy interventions, and also the synergies with the member state actions, because of course, all member states, they have other research and innovation goals, and we have to look for the synergies between those national actions and the European ones. So at the end, we try to avoid overlapping in research and innovation policies and taking advantage of synergies. How the program works in practice? Well, in practice, we have Horizon Europe legislative packets, including all the rules, the model contract that I discussed before. We have also a strategic plan covering actions from 2021 to 2024. And most important for you, we have different work programs that they are published every 2 years. So interest parties may have time to plan their participation. And in these work programs, that will be later on explained by my colleague, by Ellen, you may find the calls for proposals with the research topics, with the participation groups, etc. I have to mention also at this point that the programs have been drafted with a participatory approach. That means that the main EU stakeholders, networks, universities, researchers have participated in this process, in the process of drafting the work programs. Okay. Following the strategy of the program, those four are the main, the key strategic orientation of the program. So you see in the slide, there is one strategic orientation focused on the digital area, another on strategic orientation dealing with environment, a third one focused on sustainability and circular economy, and a fourth one devoted to inclusiveness. So those are the four key strategic orientations that we have to consider in every project that we are submitting to the EU. More important for you, how important is international cooperation in this new program? Well, international cooperation is a priority in this program, in this current program, and is crucial to tackle many global challenges as climate change. So the program is open to researchers and innovators from around the globe who are encouraged to team up with EU partners in preparing proposals. And you will see more details on how this is organized in the next slides, how this process is organized. Which are the 8 horizontal topics to be considered in international corporations? What you see there, they are summarized: gender equality, ethics and integrity, EU taxonomy, social innovation, etc. You have the 8 horizontal topics that also are, have to be considered in every proposal. But let's go to the program, how the program promotes international cooperation, but because this is crucial for you. Well, Horizon Europe promotes international cooperation, increasing this international participation in different ways. It's a broadened association policy that allows more non-EU countries to associate to the program. Second, there are topics encouraging or requiring international calls. There are also joint or coordinated calls, and there is always, most of the times, especially in the course that we will discuss later on, exceptional EU funding available for participants from non-associated third countries. Then there are also training activities with entities from non-associated non-EU countries, and topics contributing to the implementation of multilateral or bilateral agreements or initiatives. So you will find specific topics that they are only focused, for instance, for the Caribbean, and you will see some of them. How the program specifically promotes the participation from Caribbean countries? Well, participation in the Horizon Europe program is open to all countries in the Caribbean. However, as you see there, European Union funding is not automatically available for the following Caribbean countries: Aruba, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis, and Trinidad and Tobago. In these cases, the participants will cover the financing costs through the mechanism provided in each country. Okay, so that's something that you have to consider also if you are coming from one of these countries. Well, I think that's my part of the presentation. Now I give the floor to my colleague Ellen, so she may continue with the rest of the presentation about Horizon Europe. Thank you.